All right. There we go. All right, we should be live. We should be live, everyone. How is it going? We are getting dialed in here. We have a tornado-warned storm literally 20 minutes down the road from us, approaching Arlington, Iowa. We're heading towards Arlington right now. We're like 10 minutes from getting on this storm. We literally just have to make our west turn here, and we're just gonna blast right up to it. But how's it going, everybody? Hopefully you all are doing good here today. We are all locked in for what could be a fun chase day out here in Iowa and along the Wisconsin border here. Like I said, we're closing in on this tornado-warned storm near Arlington, Iowa. That is the current target right now. We're going to be on it in about 10 minutes. We are very, very close. We really just have to get through town and blast west. That is the only thing we have to do. We're right where we need to be to get on this storm. So once we make this westward turn, we're going to be locked in for what could be a pretty good show here. We have another tornado-warned storm as well back to the west behind that one. Both these storms have looked pretty good. They've had really healthy mid-level mesocyclones. I wouldn't be surprised if there were some attempts earlier for this storm to drop something, but I haven't seen any reports out of them that anything has come down quite yet, but they look pretty good. So we're going to just blast on over there and try to get on this thing. These cars go by. Here we go. All right. Here's our west turn. This is going to take us right to the storm, ladies and gents. Taking us right up to it. All we have to do is go straight down this road. And at some point, we might make a northward turn just to get up in the notch. But things are looking promising. The storm is currently warned for tornado threat and 1.75 inch hail. So we could be in for quite the show here this afternoon as we close in on this cell. But how are you guys doing? How is everybody doing today? I see we got Adventures of Joy in here. We got Weather Girl in here. Sarah's in here. We got all sorts of people tuning in for the chase. We're like the only ones out here. Everyone else went home. So we have these storms all to ourselves, which is kind of nice. I also like that we have two cells here we can play with. We got two supercells just stacked up right next to each other. We have another supercell to the east as well. We might be able to barrel east and get on that if we have to. But for now, I'm just going to focus on this cell because I think this looks the best out of anything at the moment. Our time with these storms is going to be limited. There is a squall line working in, so once that squall line hits these, it's kind of going to be game over. So we're going to stick with these for as long as we can. Now that we're just finally getting through town, we should be able to cook a little bit here. There we go. Now we get into the 60-mile-per-hour zone. So yeah, we're going to close in on these storms pretty quick. We're like 10 minutes from getting on it. How is it going to be in central Wisconsin? Central Wisconsin right now looks like it's going to be mostly a damaging wind threat if there are any storms. I think the main tornado risk is down here in eastern Iowa, southwest Wisconsin is what it looks like. Let's go get on this storm here. Let's go get it. We're heading west. We're going to get on it, chat. Yes, we are getting locked in here. I see a base in front of me. Can't really make out any wall cloud or anything with this thing, but that's the base up there. That's going to be the base of the storm. So we're watching up over there. Need this dump truck to get out of my way. Please. I just want to catch the storm. I'm also keeping an eye on back to the east, closer to Cassville, moving into Wisconsin. Looks like we have another supercell trying to go over there, but okay, I'm just gonna do this. Hi. All right, let's get on this storm. But yeah, we're closing in, everybody. We are closing in here. Yeah, you folks near Arlington, Iowa, we do have a supercell here that looks like it's trying to ramp up. So definitely going to want to be aware with this storm. be getting a view of the base here in just a couple moments. Arlington will be a good route to follow this because we can zigzag northeast. If this thing is even heading northeast. It's kind of been stationary. It's just kind of been sitting here. Yeah, wall cloud report. I think that would be accurate. I would not be surprised if that were the case. This is really the only shot out here right now. It's these two cells. How's that farther back cell doing? Good. Well, if we have to, we can double back to that one. Yeah, we got two supercells here doing the dance, and I see we got Sasquatch becoming a cheese curd. Appreciate that there, Sasquatch. Be sure to spam up the W's. You all know the drill. Alright. Go ahead and get all these cameras dialed in here, just in case this storm decides to do something crazy right as we're getting on it. Let me get all my cords locked in. Okay. Well, there's the base in front of us. I see the base. There it is, guys. It's right there. That's what we're watching. We're watching in front of us. I'm keeping my eye out. I don't see any wall cloud or anything with this thing, at least from our view. Maybe it's tucked back in there a bit more, but that's the storm in front of us. Right there. Focus on this camera's locked. Yep, we're good. We're starting to get on it. And here is our north turn. That's going to carry us right up to this thing. Here we go. This car go by. There we go. There we go. We're good. We're good. Okay. All right, we're getting up on it. Here's our north turn. And I see we got Cactus with the membership for 19 months there. Spam up the W's for Mr. Cactus. That is a very long time. Man, all three of these cells look good. The eastern cell's looking decent now. I think our storm is cycling at the moment, so I think it's just gonna be taking its time here, but once it can lock in, hopefully we'll be in business. Yeah, I'm just getting the side window camera dialed in here so you guys have that. Looks like these two cells are going to try to merge. We should be in the tornado warning box now. We're just getting up to it. Let's see. Yeah, we're just getting into the warning box here. Still doesn't look all too bad on radar. It's hard to make out the base. It's pretty murky. So we got almost 300 of you guys tuned in right now. If you have not already, be sure to drop a like on the stream here. We are closing in on this tornado warning storm here. I'm going to go ahead and switch us on over to the tornado warning screen, because that is what we are moving into. There we go. That new scan, there's a tight couplet in there. stream is no longer frozen. Sorry about that, chat. I was just trying to get us a stopping point here. But here's our storm. Tanner's calling me. Tan man. Me? Can you hear me, guys? Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Can you guys hear me? Hello, hello? Is anyone there? Test, test, 1, 2, 3, test, test. Hopefully it is all working. Oh, Can you hear me, guys? I hear myself. I think the stream froze. The stream froze on me, but we're gonna start moving for that. I want to head to that eastern storm. That eastern cell looks pretty promising, so I'm gonna start heading that way. And if this one starts looking good again, I can always just double back and come get it. But this cell looks a little weird. It looks outflowy, so I'm gonna start moseying east. Let's see. This thing just has a big shelf cloud on it. This thing has a big shelf cloud, so let's see. I'm gonna get to this intersection here. I'm gonna get out and just take a look. There's a bit of a couplet on it. But if this isn't looking good, I'm just gonna blast to that eastern storm. Good thing is these storms aren't really moving. They're just kind of stationary, so. That eastern cell looks a little bit more isolated. Problem is there are no river crossings, so we have to try to hit it before it crosses. Oh, it's a little slick. Wow, this thing has a massive shelf cloud on it. Chat, this is why we are leaving the storm. It is a big shelf cloud. That is not a very promising look if you're looking for a tornado. It's a big shelf. So we are gonna go to the next storm. We're gonna go to the eastern storm here. Where does Google want me to go? Ladies and gentlemen, we are eastbound. We are leaving this one because this one doesn't look all too promising. Okay. Here we go, chat. Heading to our next target. Man, this thing is getting big and blobby. Could be that Strawberry Point storm. That one might take over. For a little bit, let those charge up. In the meantime, I'm abandoning this storm. Chat, we're leaving it. We're leaving it behind. Saying bye-bye. And we're heading back towards Wisconsin. Alrighty, ladies and gents. Let's see. We got almost 500 people tuned in here. I appreciate all of you guys tuning in. We are leaving this storm because it does not look too tornado-y, at least from my perspective, and we are gonna head east because it looks like that eastern storm is a bit more isolated, a bit more to itself. Hopefully that will have a more long-term tornado threat there. But got almost 500 people tuned in right now. If you have not already, be sure to drop a like on the stream and hit that subscribe button because we are the only ones live on this storm. I'm wondering if we're going to encounter a wild Tanner Charles at some point, because I know he's around here somewhere. I'm not entirely sure where, but I know he's in the area, so we will see. But the time limit on these storms is dwindling. They're right in the warm front. All right. Go ahead and we're gonna this is gonna take us back east here, this roundabout. Where's everybody tuning in from? We got over 500 people watching right now. Where's everybody watching from? I'm curious how many Iowa residents we have in the chat right now. Andrew's in here. What up, Andrew? Andrew, I'm going east. I'm leaving this storm because I don't like how it looks. I'm abandoning it. Got a little too big for its own good and is now pushing out a shelf cloud. Welcome to 2026. You think you have a nice looking supercell and then it ends up turning into a shelf. But, oh well. That is just storm chasing. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and get the side window camera up and running here so you guys can get a view from that. Then you guys can actually see the storm a little bit. There we go. Side window camera is up and rolling. Let's see, we got France in here, Iowa, Honolulu, 2026 thing. That is right. That is what we are doing. We are 2026 maxing. We think we get on a nice storm and then it decides to not be a nice storm. So we got Webster City, Maine, Texas, Dubuque, Iowa. We got all sorts of folks tuning in here. Michigan, Minnesota, Edgewood, Nebraska, Northwest Wisconsin. Yes. All sorts of people tuned in from all over, but what's left of our storm is back this way. Let me go ahead and lock the focus here for you guys. Back over there. See that shelf cloud? That is not what we want to see. That is a bad sign if you're looking for tornadoes. We don't want a shelf cloud. We want a nice curled up supercell. And this storm is not quite giving it up to us. So just heading east now. See what we can get. Maybe there's a better target out there off to the east. Also keeping my eyes peeled for Mr. Tan Man, because I believe he's over here somewhere. If I can find the tanner, that'll be a mission accomplished for today. But that's where we're watching. The GoPro is yelling at me. I don't know why the GoPro is magically turning on all by itself, but whatever. That eastern storm does not look all that bad, at least on velocities. Hopefully we don't get up to it and it's doing the same thing this one did, where it just shot out a shelf. Alright. Got New Mexico in here. The shelf cloud is gone. Ladies and gents, we can no longer see it, so I'm putting you back on the dash here for the time being. But I think this cell approaching Gutenberg will be our next chance. That one looks a bit more isolated. Hopefully it stays that way. These storms up here are just getting blobby and messed up, so we will see what that eastern one wants to do. That's the name of the game right now. That's part of storm chasing. You get on your storm, you think it looks good, and then all of a sudden you have to turn around and go get the other one. But that's just how it goes. It's par for the course. I also want to keep an eye out. There is a new updraft base around here somewhere with one of these new storms, so I'm going to keep an eye out for that in case that decides to perk up. We can always just turn around and go back and get it if we want, but our storm is up here. Strawberry Point is a very good town name. I agree, Sarah. As I was driving through town, I was looking to see if they had any strawberry stores, get some fresh strawberries, but I didn't see any. And just like that, our tornado warning has expired. So this storm got blobbed up. Go ahead and switch us back to the scouting targets screen there. That got very exciting for just a few moments, and then very unexciting as the storm is now dying. But still gonna keep an eye out. You never know. This thing might just decide to randomly perk back up, so gonna keep a close eye on it. If we have to, we can barrel back and go get it. But we're working our way into Strawberry Point right now. Strawberry Point, Iowa. And our next target is Gutenberg, Iowa. Hopefully we can find somewhere to get across the river, because there are very few river crossings over there. Might have to head through. Looks like Cassville has a river crossing, so that's good. If we have to, we can scurry up that way. I might just put that in the GPS, because then we can just get across the river right away. Getting back into Wisconsin. That's the hard part about chasing this part of the country, is the Mississippi River is literally right here. Shoot, there isn't a river crossing. Yeah, guys, this is the hard part. We have to find somewhere to get across the Mississippi River at some point, and unfortunately our options are slim. Our best option is to go... Oh, actually there is a river crossing there. Okay, we're good. I lied. It was just hiding in the map. Alright. I'm going to keep an eye back to the west as well, because it looks like these two cells are trying to merge, so if that can do anything, that might help give this thing an extra kick, but we will see. We will see what we got here. Yeah, hopefully we can Dubuque or Prairie du Chien. Okay, well, maybe our river crossings are fewer than I thought. We might have to go to Dubuque, which I would not really want to do, because that's going to take us way down and around the storm. Shoot. Chat, we're chalked! We gotta get across the river! Yeah, I might just try to blast up to Prairie du Chien and try to drop down on it. Drop down from the north. It's about the same time either way, so might be the only option here. Chat, we're heading to Prairie du Chien. Thank you, Andrew, for letting me know. Google Maps, I think, was trying to take me across a ferry, which might take a little while. Alright. Take the ferry. I don't know how long the ferry would take. If I'm sitting in Gutenberg and there's a tornado warning, I don't even know if the ferry would be running. Oh wow, this storm is actually looking a bit interesting right here. Once we get through town, I can show you guys. Hey, got some nice structure. Check out the structure on this thing. It's not looking very tornado-y, but it's pretty. It's pretty to look at. There's the police officer here watching the storm. Yeah, chat, here's the structure of this thing. Got the sheriff here, keeping an eye on it. Making sure everyone is chasing respectfully. But here is our storm structure. It looks very, I don't like it. See how it's just kind of a straight line? What I'm looking for it to kind of curl in on that northern side there. It doesn't really curl in at all. It's just kind of a flat, straight line. That's not exactly a good sign if you're looking for tornadoes. So I think that eastern cell is going to be the play here. It's pretty to look at, though. It's a very pretty structure. Very, very pretty. All right. We're gonna keep working our way. We're gonna have to zigzag like north and dive south. We're gonna do a little zigzag to get on this thing. Might go ahead and give the Tan Man a quick ring here and just let him know that there are no river crossings unless you go to Prairie du Chien or Dubuque. Where's your phone number? See if I can call him on the iPad. Oh my gosh, it's letting me call him on the iPad here. River crossings wants to go to Brady Sheen or to be. Tanner, are you there? It's chalked. It's not letting me call Tanner. This is chalked. No. I just want to let him know there's no river crossings. This storm's pretty though. It is a pretty storm. Man, that eastern cell's looking better and better. Maybe I can ring him on the stream phone. Chad, if I go mute for a second, it's because I'm trying to get a hold of Tanner, so apologies if the stream just like cuts out audio for a second. Are we back? Are we back, chat? Chat, are we back? Can you guys hear me? Our cell service is chalked in here. They don't really have good cell reception. All right. Are we back? I hear myself. Should be back. All right. Yeah, guys, our route to get on the storm is taking us up through Prairie du Chien and down and around, so it's going to be a while before we get on it. Tanner is calling me back. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to decline. Yeah, guys, I'm just trying to go up and around to go get on this storm. It's going to take a little bit, though, so we have to be patient. Got to be patient, got to take our time, but eventually we'll get on it. We'll meet it on the other side of the river, probably near Fenimore. All right. So yeah, I'm just gonna try to get up north and then drop south and go get on that storm. And if that doesn't work, I am going to nah, I'm gonna give today a while. But these storms are looking more supercelly. It's just they look off. They all look very funky. Oh, the stream is chalked. There we go. There you go, ahead and let me share my location with the Tan Man so he knows where I'm headed. Alright. Yeah, we're gonna have to be patient. There's much as I do not have patience, we're going to have patience today. Patience will be the key. Unless everything chalks itself, then patience will not be the key. But I'm still fairly optimistic. We still have a decent environment. We just need a storm to stay to itself. As that tornado warning we were on initially, that cell looked good, and then it just got too clustered. So as long as storms can avoid all the clustering, then if we can get a storm to avoid that and just kind of ride the warm front, that'll be much better. Which I'm crossing my fingers this eastern cell is gonna do. Is it on the ground? I'm nearby and no shelter. Nothing is on the ground right now. Just some scary clouds at the moment. Nothing is down. Hopefully the tornadoes wait until we actually get on the storm. The structure here is kind of cool. We got some nice turquoise blues working into the this little storm here, this shelf cloud. That is the hard part of this part of the country. It is the Mississippi River, where river crossings are few and far between. So if you mistime your crossing, then too bad, so sad. I've been bit by the Mississippi River many times while chasing over here. Man, that eastern storm does not look too bad. It's a nice curled up hook there. Yeah, once we get up and around, we'll be able to drop in from the north and get on it. We're getting up into the reign of our other storm. See. Yeah, we got a while to go. Google Maps keeps trying to make me get on the ferry. Problem is the ferry route is like 10 minutes slower. So I'm gonna keep the route I have, and we're gonna sneak up behind this thing. Back. Yeah, we just got some ground to cover right now. It's that part of the chase where you just got to make it to your next storm. I can see the base of our old storm behind us, and it just looks like a big shelf. I'm gonna switch all the internet connect devices on over to the mobile hotspot here, so hopefully the service locks in a bit better. Here we go. Mobile hotspot is on, so hopefully the cell reception comes back a bit now that we got our second Wi-Fi point working here. And that new scan, I really like the way that storm is looking. Go to the tornado. You know, I don't think I will. Yeah, Ethan, there's a lot of cape on the south side of the boundary. I was hoping we'd get a storm to just latch onto that boundary and ride it either east or southeast, but so far that has not quite happened. I think if there's any storm that's going to do it, though, it's going to be this one, because the models had this warm front lifting north throughout the day. And I mean, just looking at radar, it seems like that warm front has slowly lifted north with these storms. So as long as this far eastern storm stays latched onto that warm front, we'll be in business. It just needs to hold off on its business before I can get to it. It can start doing business once I get there. And there is a tractor blocking my view. Alright. I just want to get around the tractor. Can we pass the tractor, pretty please? I beg of you. Cook, little Subaru, cook. There. We have escaped the tractor. Which radar app am I using? I am using WeatherWise right now. I'm using WeatherWise for this chase. So all of our GPS stuff's working. Where's that tornado warning storm? It's made that eastward turn that we were looking for. You folks near Lancaster got to be on alert because that storm is headed your direction. Just punching through the rain now, this old storm. I'm gonna put Lancaster in the GPS, and we can probably meet it in Lancaster. Oh yeah, we can easily meet this thing in Lancaster. All right, chat, Lancaster is in the GPS. We're gonna try to meet the storm over there. We'll see if we can get on it. I think we should be able to. Tornado sirens are going off here. I just heard the tornado sirens briefly. Ooh, a little bumpy. PDS trees. Sarah has it right. There are a lot of trees in here. We're in the forest right now. Once we get to it, so once we get there, it will not be as probably do a little hook slice to get on this thing. Probably sneak in behind it, do a little hook slice maneuver. first hook slice maneuver ended with a huge dent on the trunk of my car. Yeah, the hook slices can be a little unforgiving when it comes to that hail. Hopefully it's not like yesterday where we're slicing the hook and all of a sudden there's just an attack of golf balls raining down on us. Hopefully. Okay. Slowly zigzagging our way. Get around this RV here. We're doing a little snake maneuver. We're snaking up to get to the river crossing, and then we're gonna bomb south. We have two parts of this mission. Part 1, cross the river. Part 2, get on the storm. Where am I right now? I am heading into Elkader, Iowa. We're trying to get up to Prairie du Chien so we can cross the river and drop south to get on this supercell that's working into Wisconsin. That is currently where I am at, and our current plan. Alright. Go ahead and snake through here. The rain is starting to let up a little bit, which is nice. Little hydroplane. I see the clear air. I see the clear air, guys. We're so close to being out of the rain. We're probably going to be out of it for like 2 seconds, then immediately just get dumped on again. Because we're just zigzagging with the rain here. There we go. Take this straight here. Tell you what, the Starlink does not like this part of the country. It's all trees, so the Starlink is chucked. This is 100% cell service. Hopefully the cell booster can lock in. Two people stopped up here. Yeah, definitely a good downpour up here. Nice power shower. Give the car a good wash. Get all the bugs off the front. chalk. Cell service is chalk. And it's very windy. Crazy winds in here. Getting a good breeze going. Pretty good 50 mile an hour wind here. Slow her down a little bit. And it is just dumping in here. Now we're breaking out of it a little bit. I lied. Back in it. All right. We're right under the shelf. We're under the shelf flap. There we go. I banished him. He's gone. Yeah. Taking it slow through here. Don't want a hydroplane. All right. You can see the front edge of the storm here. You can see the leading edge. So you got VHO with the super chat there. Appreciate you, VHO. Spam up the W's. Alright, we're coming up to Prairie du Chien. Prairie du Chien is right up here. This overlay looks like old overlays. When I last year, well, I did Freddy's overlays last year, so there were parts of the Freddy's old overlays that I ended up recycling because I was like, well, I made these, so I might as well reuse them. So a lot of the transition elements I reused. There are a couple of things I tweaked here and there, but some of the stuff was recycled. Like, I already made these, saved myself some time, and just recycle them. Chat, we're closing in on the river crossing. We are closing in on our river crossing here. It's only a couple miles ahead. That was a nice lightning bolt. once we get across this river, we will be able to dive south towards that supercell down there. But see, still got 800 people tuned in right now. Appreciate all of you guys for sticking with me here as we're readjust for our chase. Yeah, like Sarah said, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button if you are new here and you have not already. Closing in on 11,000 subscribers. We're at 10,948. Let's see if we can hit the 11,000 mark by the end of the stream here. Yeah, Sarah, I mean, if you're moderating, I mean, the big thing is just like if people are spamming or just being inappropriate or rude, you can just get rid of them. That's all there is to it. If you see someone spamming in chat, just send them to the Shadow Realm. Same thing with people fighting or sending rude messages, any of that sort of stuff. We're going to try to keep chat as happy and joyful as possible. We don't want to ruin someone's experience because someone sent a mean message. Stormrunner Media is in here. I'm not sure if that's Ben or Garrett, but how's it going? We have the Stormrunner in here. Guys, I have to cross the river. It's going to take me an extra hour to get to the storm, but I'm going to get on it eventually. We'll get there one day. To the river crossing. It's Garrett. What is up, Garrett? All right, we're about 45 minutes from getting on this storm here. Depending on how big the hail is, we may have to do a little zigzag and maybe cut a little farther east and drop in that way, but either way, the storm's moving slow, so we're going to be able to get ahead of it. How fast is this thing moving? Storm's only moving 25 miles an hour, so yeah, we'll be able to get on it. We'll be able to get on that thing. We may have to go a little east just so we avoid the big hail, but we can go east and down and back west and kind of loop around and get on it. Or we can sneak into the south. Trying to avoid the big hail because that thing's currently warned for about baseballs right now. So if we can avoid the baseballs, that would be a good day. Got a new mesoscale discussion as well. So the Storm Prediction Center is watching this cell as well. They may issue a mesoscale discussion out into southern Wisconsin at some point. Or they might issue a watch at some point out into southern Wisconsin. They just put out a mesoscale discussion. Here we go. Our river crossing is right up here. Once we cross the Mississippi, it'll be much smoother sailing to get on this. Quick dive into the valleys here. We may lose cell reception as we're winding through the forest. There's a lot of hills and valleys over here, but once we pop out, it should be a much smoother sailing. Very rainy in here. Yeah, we got a very steep hill coming up here. We're winding our way through. Here we go. It may have taken a little bit, but we're coming up to our river crossing here. Once we get across, it's going to be much easier to get on this storm. Hard part was getting up to the river crossing. Now we just gotta cruise southeast, get up to our cell. For a while. I wish there would have been one closer to us. I'm surprised there wasn't, but had to make a little detour. Now that we can finally cross the river, we can actually get on this storm. Here we go. Crossing the Mississippi. Step 1 complete. Get to a river crossing. Step 2, we have to get to our storm. Which luckily, now that we've gotten across the river, we are not far away. We're like probably 45 minutes or so from getting on this thing. Probably less than that, probably more like 40 to 30 minutes. Here we go. In the meantime, just gonna plug the cameras in so these are nice and charged up. want to make sure all these cameras and stuff are fully charged when we get up to this storm. Double check everything is plugged in. Alright. We can take this right here. See anyone coming? Nope, doesn't look like it. Okay. Cool. Let the zigzag begin. There. Okay. Now that we've gotten across the river, and I see I missed a super chat. $10 super chat from Chad. Superb river crossing. I agree. That was a very good river crossing that we desperately needed. So spam up the W's there for Chad. But now that we have crossed the river, we can get down onto our storm. Gonna get through Prairie du Chien. We'll get to Lancaster and we'll be on this thing. We're 40 minutes away. We are not far. To my camera. What up? I meant to switch the Wi-Fi connection there. But yeah, we're going south. We're getting on it. Finally out of Prairie du Chien onto our main highway. Okay. Can I get around this boat? Boat go a little quicker. Oh, it's a 2-lane. I'm turning right up here, so stay in my lane here. Alright. Got a little shelf cloud out our window here. We found a shelf. We have found the shelf, ladies and gentlemen. Take this south and get to our storm. Look at that shelf cloud there. It's very soggy. It's buried in the rain, but it is a shelf. There we go. See you guys back on the dash. Shelfie, that is right. There's prime shelfie potential here. Oh yeah, they did just put out a big severe warning for that squall line that's working in. 60 mile per hour observed. I believe that, because we had pretty good winds when we were punching through it. Oh, look out, Mr. Minivan. That guy was not wanting to wait. He wanted to go right then and there. minutes out from this storm. You're not far. Yeah. 2-inch hail reported. Yeah, I'm gonna try to avoid the hail core if I can. I'd rather not get stuck in big hail again. I caught in it yesterday. The Volvo got its first hail dents yesterday. I was like, oh, it's a summertime mini supercell. There's no way this storm is gonna have big hail. And I'm punching through it, and we get some quarters and whatnot. I'm like, okay, that's not too bad. I can handle some quarters. That was about what I expected. And then all of a sudden, I start hearing the really loud thunks. I'm like, uh-oh. And then they got more numerous, and then they started coming in sideways from the wind. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna stop here and point the windshield into the hail, because if there's any window I want to take big hail, it's the windshield, because that is the most durable. So I stopped and pointed into it for a bit. Took a couple good hits from a few big stones in there. It was mostly golf balls, but I wouldn't be surprised if there were a few rogue stones in there that were a little bigger, maybe tennis ball to baseball size. But that's what happened yesterday. Yesterday's chase was very fun. Big hail. And then I went back west, looked for a second round, and it just kind of was done. Like 2 weeks. And so this car all over it, and they got the dents taken out of it, and then a couple years here, and we are going to destroy every single of the car, all the headlights. We're going to put a crater through the roof. We're going to find a world record hail car and like literally everything. The hail. Gents. There we go. We should be all good now. There. So, did you guys not hear my story? My story about how this car turned into a golf ball? But essentially, recap the story just in case the cell service was shocked. Big hailstorm before I owned this car. This car got completely dented up. Got it from my mom. And I was like, Mom, why did you remove the hail dents? Because now I have it. And you know what I do with the cars. And so, the car got its christening yesterday with its first couple new hail dents. That's the recap of the story. Chat, we're almost to 11,000 subscribers as well. We're at 10,981. We need 19 more subs and we will be at the 11,000 subscriber milestone. Anything for Beloit? It looks like Beloit, you guys might just get some wind and rain later on this evening, is what it's looking like. Because this is all trending into more of a wind and rain threat. I want to see how that outflow boundary looks. Are there any new storms trying to fire? Does not really look like it. There's a couple little blips along that outflow boundary, but nothing crazy. It's still that Lancaster cell that's kind of the main one. About 27 minutes from that storm. We're closing in on it. I might put Livingston in the GPS. That'll get us just way ahead of it. Livingston, Wisconsin. There we go. And we'll take the down and around way, so we'll still get on the storm, but we're just going to follow it towards Livingston. All right, guys. About 20 minutes from getting on this storm. We're right behind it. We are hot on its heels. Turn off the wipers here. Got our south turn coming up. That's going to take us on a dive down towards this thing. So we got Chad there becoming a cheese curd. Appreciate that, Chad. Be sure to spam up the W's, ladies and gents. You know the drill. Chad has become a cheese curd. Oh, not this road. Next road. Next road. Finally out of the rain, which is nice. We've made it ahead of that. These storms are moving really slow, which has made this trek a lot easier. We're not trying to race them to get ground on them. I mean, yeah, I'd like to be on it, but I'm not like, oh, we're going to miss it. Because we're now only a couple miles from it. We're gonna sneak in through Lancaster and work in behind this thing. Alright. Gotta slow down here. We're coming through town. Okay, what town are we in? We're in Patch Grove. Patch Grove, Wisconsin. Little bump. They dropped the tornado warning for that storm, but still, decent hail threat. I'd imagine we'll have some pretty good structure once we get out in front of this thing. It may turn into a structure show. Okay, the zigzag south continues. We are right on the heels of this storm. We are right behind it. We can probably find some of the big hail in there because we're going to be because we're sneaking in from behind it here, we'll be driving through the path of where the hail fell down. So we may be able to find some of the hailstones. But there it is. That's the storm in front of us. That big wall of white and gray. That's the storm. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now 9 subscribers away from 11,000. We're 9 subscribers away from the 11,000 milestone. So you all know what to do. Who's going to be the lucky 11,000th? Who's it going to be? Man, we're so close to getting on this storm. We're in a severe thunderstorm warning. I didn't even realize that. I can switch us over to the severe warning screen. Boop. There we go. Update the overlay there. Out here once we get in front of it, because that would make me happy. I really love chasing out in this part of Wisconsin just because you have the beautiful rolling hills, the open fields. If you can get on top of a hill, you can see for miles. So we got Sandy upgraded their membership to a cheese stick. Appreciate you there, Sandy. You guys want to know the story of how I came up with my membership names? I was in the shower. This is when I was like first got eligible to have channel memberships. I was in the shower when I came up with the idea. I was in the shower, I was like, man, what could I do for the names of my channel members? And I was like, because I chase Wisconsin a lot, because this is my homeland, I was like, I could do something like Wisconsin related. I could do like a Packers something or Brewers or something like that. And then the idea hit me for cheese. And I was like, I know what I have to do. The cheese sticks, the cheese curds, and the cheese wedges. And lo and behold, that's what I went with for the names of you wonderful channel members. I kept to my Wisconsin roots. Ladies and gentlemen, we have done it. We have passed 11,000 subscribers there. Everyone, give yourselves a pat on the back. You all deserve a W. Spam a W for yourself for getting us there. It wouldn't be possible without you guys. At the Milwaukee radar to see if this thing still has some, not really. I thought it had decent mid levels, but it's getting overrun by the squall line now. The squall line is overrunning our once pristine supercell. But I think that means we'll be able to get some nice structure shots once we get way out ahead of everything. Because we saw that shelf cloud. We know the potential is there for good storm structure. So if we can get that, that will be good. And then this thing's kind of heading back home, so I can follow this for a little bit back home. And I don't know how long I'll be able to be live for this evening, because I do have a birthday party. One of my friends is turning 21 today, so I'd like to be there to celebrate their 21st birthday with them. So I am trying to make it back for that birthday party. So at some point, I am going to have to turn around and start heading for home. But luckily, these storms are kind of following back towards home anyway, so we can stick with them for quite a while before I have to venture off. All right. Man, we are so close to getting on this thing. We're only a couple miles from Lancaster. It's like we just got to go south a little bit and then cut east, and we'll be pretty much right where we want to be. Curious if this storm is going to try to recycle it all. We got S'more in the chat saying bean burrito. You guys want to know a secret? I revealed this to the stream yesterday. Yesterday I revealed this to the stream here, but I don't like bean burritos. I'm sorry. I'm not a bean burrito enjoyer. Is the clock on the stream off? It might be a minute or two delayed just because YouTube has a delay with the live stream. That's probably why the clock is like a minute or so off, because that's just how long it takes for YouTube to process the stream and send it out to you guys. All right, we're back in the rain. I know, I'm sorry to disappoint you all, but I don't like bean burritos. I feel like they're overrated. Look at this shelf cloud though. That's pretty. Some pretty storm structure out here. Here's our eastward turn. Once we turn east, we're going to be able to cruise right up to this thing. Hard part is going to be trying to avoid the hail, because it is, what is it warned for? It's warned for 1.25 inch hail, which is not, that's not too bad. That's about the size of a $50. I can handle that. I've punched those types of hail cores before. Anyone like chili? I'm a big chili fan. My favorite thing, if there's one thing, if there's a couple things in the world that make me happy, what's very high on that list is a cool fall Sunday afternoon with a Bourdo Packer party where chili is being served. That is one of my favorite things. See, us at the Bourdo family, we take the Packer games very seriously. We have a party every Sunday for the Packer games. And so it's always a good day when it's like a brisk, like 45 degrees out, the leaves are orange, and there's a pot of chili cooking. Those are always the best days. All right. I can see the base of the storm. It is a very high base. Not a great sign, but it has a base. Go Falcons. Shame. This is a Packers chat here. Oh, and he's gone. The Falcons fan has been deleted. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what happens if you are anything but a Packers fan in here. You get sent to the Shadow Realm. Go Pack Go, that is right. Well, we've had a nice road trip today. Made it out to eastern Iowa, and now we're looping back. All right. Yeah, guys, we're about to head into Lancaster. We're just a few minutes behind the storm. Will Sioux Falls, South Dakota get anything? Not from this cluster of storms. I know there are some severe storms up in South Dakota. You'll probably get stuff from that later on tonight up there in Sioux Falls. Later this afternoon into the evening. But this stuff out here, nothing to have to worry about from this eastern round of storms. Stuff to your west you'll want to keep an eye on. Could see a bit of a hail and wind threat and maybe a tornado threat. Look at the updraft. That's the updraft of the storm there. Looks pretty. Let me switch you guys to the wide angle camera. You can see the whole updraft from back here. Hope I make some more live streams. I probably will. I mean, these next few days of chasing look busy. So depending on how things trend, I may be live pretty frequently over the next few weeks, depending on how the weather goes. Don't know if I'm going to be able to get out and chase tomorrow. I do have other plans. Same with Saturday. I have stuff going on for the 4th of July. So tomorrow and Saturday, more than likely, I will be out for the count. It is possible something could change depending on how the weather's looking, but beyond that, I'll be pretty free. I'll be pretty free to get out here and chase whenever stuff's going down. All right. Location isn't updating. Here, I can update the let me see if I can go in and fix that here. Might be because I'm running the GPS off my iPad, so that takes some time to update. All right. It's carved out. See the cut. See that RFD cut up there. So definitely still a supercell. Not looking too tornado-y, but probably have a nice view of it once we get further east. Out ahead of it. Yeah, we're working into Lancaster right now. We are literally like right behind this storm. It's only a few miles in front of us. Hopefully there's not too big a hail in here, because we're going to have to get through Lancaster to get on this storm. Update there, and there we go. Wisconsin is my home turf. This is home turf right here. If you ever see me out chasing, there's like a 99% chance I'm chasing Wisconsin. Just because that's the easiest for me to get out and chase. Every once in a while I venture out to Iowa, Minnesota, Illinois. This past May, I was out in the Dakotas and Nebraska and all that chasing with Freddie. But when I'm chasing on my own, I tend to keep things pretty tame, pretty laid back. I'll go out way west if it's like a crazy good setup, but usually I just like to stick close to home. Mainly because I would hate to miss a tornado in Wisconsin because, well, I live here. So if I'm like out in Nebraska and I see there's a tornado in Wisconsin, I will have the crash out of all time. The crash out of all crash outs happens when I miss a Wisconsin tornado. But so far I haven't missed much today. There's the storm. This is the back of it. Might dip southeast out of Lancaster. Get on 151. I mean, that'll take us back northeast with it. I like that play. There we go. Plug that into the GPS. There. Alright guys, we're about to slice through the backside of this storm here. We're about to do a little hook slice. Hook slice slash core punch. See the streaky white curtains in front of us. That is the rain and hail up there. Hopefully it's not too big. When I MC Freddy stream, is that from your place in Wisconsin? That is from the Wisconsin Dungeon. That is correct. That is from the dungeon. That's where I do those streams. How does it look from the storm's in a weird spot. There's not really like a good radar that's close to this, so it's hard to see what it's doing. But I think going southeast out of Lancaster is going to be the play. Alright, now comes the fun part. We are working in to the back of the storm. Gotta keep our eyes peeled for any hail in here. Once we get southeast out of Lancaster, we actually get in front of it and actually see the thing. Hydroplane action there. One inch hail radar indicates. Seems like the hail size has been going down. We should be good to blast through here. Not having to worry about the hail too much. This is the fun part, guys, where we have to get through the storm in order to see the other side of it. go. Here's Lancaster, Wisconsin. Hey, we got a little tree debris in the road here. That is a sign that we definitely had hail through here. I'm keeping my eye on the ground. I want to know if there's any hail that's like hiding out there. If we can find a stone, I'd like to find one. So far, I'm not seeing much. Just got to get through town here. Luckily, the storm is not moving very fast. It is currently moving 30 miles per hour, so once we get through town, we'll be able to zigzag up to it. Deep puddle there. Go. Now, where's our road that takes us southeast? It's right up here. Okay. I don't see any hail sitting on the side of the road. I was hoping we'd find a few hailstones, but the storm has just been sitting here. It's just been sitting over Lancaster for the past like hour. It's barely moved. I'd be surprised if there's somewhat of a flooding risk out here with all these storms. Ooh, that's a good splash. Good car wash. Alright. I'm going to be turning this way. I do really want to know what the base of this storm looks like. Curious to know if we have a nice structured base or if it's an elevated, ugly storm base. We will see once we get out of town. Nope, we're good. We're good. Let's keep on rolling. We're just going to take this road straight for a little while. This will hopefully get us back in front of the storm. We've come all this way, guys. Not giving up yet. Definitely got a good downpouring over here. Got some water pooling along the sides of the roadway. I still don't mind how this thing looks on radar. I mean, it's definitely still a supercell. It's just trying to get reorganized. We'll see if we can do it. If we can reel that warm front back in, that'll help. slow through here so we don't hydroplane. How much water is dumped out here. There's some spots where there's still some deeper puddles sitting in the road. I think I see the base in front of us. There's a deep puddle right there. It's at the bottom of these hills is where all the ponding is. We're meandering through these valleys, so once you get to the bottom of the valley, there are these spots where you get the water that pools up. Here. Alright, we're getting out of the precip, so that's good. Getting back into the clear air. Just a little southwest of the storm now. Still can't see the base all too well though. Base would be somewhere in front of us. There's like this wall of rain that's blocking our view. Okay, well there's the base. There's the base of the storm in front of us. Off to the right there. Or at least part of the base. There might be more tucked up in the rain. If we can get in front of this thing, we'll be able to get a better view. At least with the overall supercell structure. Got some decent wind back here. And there's the Amish. We just got to zigzag southeast a little bit and we'll be able to pop out in front of this thing once we get onto to Highway 151. Once we get on 151, we'll be able to actually get northeast and get ahead of it. I'm taking us kind of down and around it is what I got right now. It's a little bit of a quicker route as opposed to blasting through it, because unfortunately, as much as I'd love to just blast through this thing and get straight to Mineral Point, there's not really a good way to do it. They're wind so much and they're so full of water that it's faster for us to just go down and around. Got the tree. Splash right there. Front side of the base still has a bit of a lowered region, it looks like. Well, I'm guessing this is where the hail came through, because all these, like, we have all these bits of trees just, like, laying in the road. That's usually a sign. Turn down the wipers here. Yeah, right now we are in Lancaster, Wisconsin, getting on this storm. It's trying to organize a new base. That's what I think it's trying to do. It's trying to shed its old base and make room for a new one. It looks like we're going to be getting to Mineral Point right around the same time as the storm. Might skirt just northeast of Mineral Point. There we go. Apologies, chat. I'm just going to keep you guys up on the cell booster, because when I try to move you around, the service just despawns. Looks like we have a passing lane here. Be able to cook a little bit. Surprised this person does not have their lights on. Guys, I'm driving through like rain and storms so much that I have just made it a habit of just keeping my lights on the car, like just on. Is it the best for the car? Probably not, but I mean, they have the auto shut off, so after the car is turned off for a while, they just turn off on their own. So I'm like, might as well just leave them on, considering I'm driving through the rain all the time. I see the base up there. All right. Well, we're getting back up to the storm. You can see the base in front of us. Pretty carved out. Got kind of a carved out area back in the rain there. New severe warning as well. They did put a tornado possible tag back on this storm, so we might be getting on it right on time. All right. New severe thunderstorm warning with that tornado possible tag. But we're going to keep going and get on this thing. We're probably going to meet it in Mineral Point is what we're going to do. So we're going to keep trying to get down and around it. And we'll probably be in front of it once we get up to Mineral Point. Then we can use this Highway 151 to stay northeast and follow with it. It's definitely been reorganizing a bit though. I don't mind how it looks. Yeah, we're driving under the base right now. I think it's trying to organize a new base, kind of out on the front end here and down. There's the storm. There it is, chat. It's off over there. It's kind of the area I'm watching. Definitely got some motion up there. A little left to right. We got left to right motion up under that base, so we should figure out how we want to get up there. I think we should just stick with our current route and we'll be in business. It's nothing consolidated, but there was a little bit of left to right in there, a little bit of spin. And this guy turning. Surprised with how big this supercell is. It's a pretty big storm. Or at least how big the base is. A lot of the base doesn't even show up on radar. It like fans out quite a ways. We're just gonna keep going and get in front of it. Keeping my eyes peeled up there. I see a lot of suspicious motion. Nothing that's making me scream the T word, but it's enough where I'm like, okay, there's more to this storm than meets the eye. Yeah, we're heading into Platteville right now. Working our way into Platteville, Wisconsin. Look at that. It's pretty. It's a pretty supercell. Yeah, we're gonna get through Platteville and then hop on 151 and cruise northeast. That'll get us up to the storm. Current plan is to meet this thing in Mineral Point. Then we can use the roads out there to figure out if we want to go east. We can cut north if we want to. We can go south. We can figure out whatever we want to do. Sorry, I'm trying to keep the storm in shot for as long as I can, but I'm gonna have to put you guys back on the mount because we are working through town and we're gonna lose our view of this thing for at least a little bit. We'll be back on it though pretty soon. Yeah, the storm's still trying to figure itself out. It's definitely much more organized now than it was. But still needs time. It's just taking its sweet time figuring out what it wants to do. Which that serves to help us, because we still have a little bit before we're like up in a good spot on this thing. Structure's pretty though. We'll be able to get some good structure once we get out in front of this. Sorry guys, I've been neglecting chat a little bit, trying to figure out how to lock in on this storm. But if you guys are near Mineral Point in Dodgeville, heads up, this storm is heading your way. It's currently warned for 1-inch diameter hail, and we does have that tornado possible tag on the severe warning. Doesn't mean that we're on tornado warning yet, where it's like, okay, a tornado could be imminent, but it's enough where it's like, okay, this storm is trying to make those steps in that direction. We'll see if it can actually do it, but as of right now, this storm is primarily a wind and hail threat. Still going to want to be aware, just in case they do decide to put a tornado warning out there. Sydney's in here. What up, Sydney? How's it going? What speed? It's warned for 60 mile per hour winds and is currently moving at 25 miles per hour. So it's a slow mover, but it's got some good wind in it. So as it's passing over, it's going to take its time. It's going to kind of sit there a little bit. got Arpigo with the member for 3 months. Going to drive towards Madison or Milwaukee. This storm is kind of trending that way. It will probably go south of Madison. Oh, I don't need to stop. Making a right turn. Okay. It'll probably go south of Madison. And then it might end up heading towards Milwaukee if it can last long enough. We do have this larger line of storms, so Madison, you still will see some rumbles of thunder and all that. But, I mean, pretty much all of, like, south from Baraboo southward, you guys are going to see a thunderstorm tonight. Now, will it be severe? That remains to be seen, because some of these storms have been kind of fluctuating in and out of severe status, but the greatest chance for severe weather is going to be I-94 and southward, is what it looks like right now. So if you're along I-94 and south from that, that looks like your best shot of getting severe storms tonight. If you're north of I-94, less of a chance of severe weather, but still going on, keep your eyes peeled just in case one of these storms decides it wants to ramp up. And we have a green light. Can we go? Thank you. But that is my current thoughts on the severe weather here in Wisconsin. Is this close to Kenosha? It's not close to Kenosha quite yet. Later on this evening, this whole complex will be working that way, but got a little while before we get to that. Ladies and gents, we are almost to Highway 151. Once we get on 151, we'll be able to close on this storm pretty quickly. Light, no one's coming, no one's coming, going. Here we go. Highway 151 is right in front of us, past this intersection. So once we get past this intersection, we'll be able to make some good ground getting up on this storm. We just need this light to turn green. And right on cue, there it is. Go. Here we go, chat. Now see we got Valerie with the 4 months of membership there. Appreciate you, Valerie. Spam up the W's. You've been a cheese wedge for 4 months now. That is quite a long time. Quite a long time as one of our #1 supporters here. Mineral Point is next in line for this storm, so we're gonna meet it over there, and then we'll probably hop on one of the side roads here and kind of zigzag along with it. Zigzag along eastward with it, because it's just kind of heading for home, so we can follow it back home. is 151. We are about to zip northeast and get right up on this thing. See what it's got. All right, here we go. Finally on the highway. We're finally out ahead of the storm. We can just cruise northeast and get right up on it here. You can see there's the edge of the storm in front of us. We're a bit on the outflow side of it, but once we get northeast, we'll get more in the inflow and we'll have a bit of a better view from up there. Here we go, ladies and gents. We are moving. Do I miss Italy? I do miss Italy. That was a very fun trip. Got to kick back on the balcony, enjoy some Italian wine, fresh pasta, seafood, pizzas, sit on the beach. Italy was very fun. Although, as much as I miss Italy, I miss storm chasing quite a lot. It was eating me up seeing all the tornado reports while I was in Italy. Literally the day we left, there was a tornado outbreak in Illinois. And the target area that I had picked out had a bunch of tornado reports. So I was like, dang. If our trip would have been delayed by like a day or so, I probably would have had a generational tornado chase. But Italy was a whole lot of fun. Much rather take the family vacation as opposed to a tornado chase. As much as it pains me to leave a tornado outbreak, I will rather take the family trip over chasing, because there will be more tornadoes. The large M, yeah, that's the Platteville M, off on the hill. You guys see it? Off in the distance over there? Alright. Yeah, Illinois has had a wild year for severe weather. My very first chase of the year, my first day out, first chase, was the Kankakee, Illinois tornado chase. That was my first chase day of the year. We saw 4 or 5 tornadoes, 3 of which were strong, long-tracked. I mean, that was quite a way to start the year. And then saw a couple more tornadoes in April near Roscoe, Illinois, and also in Janesville. So a lot of my tornadoes this year have been populated along the Wisconsin-Illinois border. I've seen a lot of them down there. Saw a couple tornadoes in Iowa over April, like far eastern Iowa. Saw a brief weak tornado in like central Illinois in April. It's been a very Illinois-centric year for severe weather. Kankakee was a very crazy chase. I'm going to be posting a video about that chase very, very soon, so be sure you're subscribed for that, because that is going to be quite the video. But Kankakee will go down as one of my all-time favorite chases and one of my most intense. So stay tuned for the Kankakee video. That is going to be coming up here sometime in July. It's almost done. The reason it's taken so long is because I've wanted to make the video as perfect as possible. So I'm taking my sweet time being a perfectionist with it, which is why it's now July and that video has not been posted yet, but it's getting there. It's very close to being done. Needs a couple, probably like 2 or 3 more weeks and it'll be there. It's close to the finish line. Once I get past the 4th of July, I'll have more time to dive into that video and give it the polish it needs. Yeah, Sarah, you met us on the Kankakee day before the chase. It was me, Freddie, Alex, Storm Rotor Media, and Tornado TRX, we're all chilling in the field waiting for storms to fire. Sarah came and said hi to us. Where is this supercell heading? It's heading towards Mineral Point. Mineral Point, Wisconsin is where this storm is headed. I think once we get past Mineral Point, I might take this Highway 39 and just try to zigzag with it through the farm roads. But it's not moving very fast. I'm gonna put that in the GPS right away just so I head in that direction. Go. Get my GPS all dialed in. We'll head towards Jonesdale, Wisconsin. Little small town just to the northeast of Mineral Point. But there's the storm. That is not a very tornado-y look. That looks like more of a wind and hail look. It's pretty though. It was a pretty storm. I always love chasing out here. I mean, look at that. Look at that view with the rolling hills and the storm in the background. It's always so pretty. Tornado threat with this storm, I think, is pretty low. I mean, just looking at it visually, this does not really have the look of a tornado producer. It looks pretty outflow dominant. So a lot of cold air undercutting any warm fuel this storm is getting. Still pretty, still fun to look at. Fun to chase. Very pretty storm. I'm excited to see the structure on this thing once we get up into the notch, once we get up northeast of it. That'll be pretty. It's more that way now. Sorry, chat. Trying to keep the storm in the frame here as we're moving down the highway. All these turns makes it hard to keep it center frame. Drink of water here. I've been yapping so much, my throat's starting to get dry. Gotta stay hydrated. Retired Radio Ron, how's it going? Good to see ya. I am doing good. I'm just trying to close in on this storm here. Heading into Mineral Point, Wisconsin. Report of a tornado behind us. Let me see. Pull up velocities here. I'm not seeing any reports popping up on my end, but I will keep an eye out if I see something, and we can start heading back that way. Hey, put you guys back on the mountain here as we are winding with the storm. Honestly, this thing's kind of just paralleling 151. We could stay on 151 if we wanted to and meet it up near Lake Barnabas. Yeah, we are in the mountains of Wisconsin. Feels more like the sand hills. All these winding hills out here. It's the Wisconsin Rocky Mountains. Close to Mineral Point now. We're about to go around Mineral Point. We're gonna stay on 151. I'm just gonna follow this thing down 151. I'm just gonna stay on the highway. We are in the driftless region. I'd love to get up. I want to try to find a hill or something that we can post up on and watch this storm roll in. See if we can find one. Really pretty. A beautiful, beautiful storm. We just need to find a good viewing location for it. I think once we get north of Mineral Point, I'll find a hill or something up there. Can't remember if it was. I had a spot that I always go to. I think it's near Dodgeville. There's like a little farm road with a that's up on a hill that I like to get up on sometimes. Provides a good little lookout point. I just don't remember where it is. I'll find a spot. I'm not too worried. We're well ahead of the storm now. And it's not like I'm missing anything. The storm has gone completely outflow dominant. Tornado threat with this storm is very low. If I stay on the highway, I won't get stuck behind a tractor. That is a good point. That happened to me yesterday. That happens to me like every chase. I get stuck behind a tractor. Especially this time of the year. Get up towards Dodgeville. We'll post up on a hill somewhere and just enjoy the show. lookout spot that I like. Here it is. I found it. I found my spot. This is my secret lookout location that I like to see the storms coming from. We're about 10 minutes from it, so once we get up there, we'll be able to have a great view of the storm. Maybe get a couple photos, get a time lapse of this thing. Be in a good spot. Just enjoy the show. And then once it comes time, we can hop back on the highway and continue northeast with it. Alright. Do not have a severe thunderstorm warning now, working into the Madison area. Just north of Madison. Between Portage and Madison, about to close in on I-90 there. Between Portage and Madison, new severe thunderstorm warning. Hey, got our first raindrop. Haven't seen one of those in a while. Here, we're almost to our little lookout spot. Getting a couple little raindrops. Clean the bugs off the windshield. Yeah, guys, we'll be able to get a better view of this thing once we're up on the hill. I'm just trying to lock in on getting us to our location right now. And also keeping the phone close to the cell booster because cell service in this area is not working too hot. From our little viewing spot. Close. There's that guy coming across there. Got a bit of a better base now. More interesting. We're way out ahead of this thing, so we just watch this thing roll in. On the edge of the rain. I can literally see the rain up in front of us. We're driving into the rain. Should clear out though pretty quickly here. Especially as this thing moves in. GPS just does not want to update, but we'll worry about that once we stop up here. way out ahead of this thing. I'm gonna get up on this hill and we can take a look at what's going on. Hopefully it's not too muddy. It doesn't seem too bad. It's a pretty well-kept gravel road usually. Yeah, this is not too bad. A little slippery. Little slick. I don't think we'll get stuck on here though. We just gotta stay on the gravel. Moving in. Now look at that. Beautiful storm. Got a big base on it. Is that Jordan up there? That's someone. Let me get flipped around here and I can show you guys. Sitting up in the notch right now, so we'll have a little bit of rain here, but it's nothing too bad. Go ahead and pull up right here. Look at that. There's our storm. Got a nice little lowering there. Might move south a little bit just so we can get out of this rain. I'd like to get out of the rain here and have a clearer view. Maybe we take this road. There it is. That's the storm right there. Got a big base on it. We'll sit here for a second and see if the rain clears out. It seems like it's lightening up. We'll have some good structure from here, that's for sure. I see the heavier rain working in. See any left or right in there? Turn the wipers down here. Well, there it is. That's the storm. Working right up towards us. We're right in front of it. Not a bad view. Kind of moving due east. Made a bit of a southern turn. We are in Dodgeville right now, is where we are at. Sorry, the GPS is not wanting to update. I don't know what's wrong with it. I'm trying to get it to update, but it's taking its sweet time. All right, what I might do is I might drop south and east a little bit. Just to get out of this rain. It's about to get heavier. And we are on a little bit of a slippery dirt road. So we're gonna move to a bit of a drier location. A little bit south and then a little bit east. On 151, the slippery road. The rain has made this road a little mushy. Clear, we're clear. Yep, we're good. We go ahead and hop on this southward exit here. Look at that. What a storm. That thing's gorgeous. Got some really nice structure on it. Very pretty. Very pretty storm here. Alright. We are locked in, chat. We are right in front of the storm here. It's a little supercell. Our turn is in 1.5 miles. Okay. Very pretty. Turn is coming up right here. We'll be able to go east a little bit and get ahead of this thing. Wow. What a beauty. Once we get farther ahead of this, I'd love to get out and take a couple photos. Get east a little bit, find a hill, post up on. All right, here's our eastward turn. You can see it surging over the highway there. Just waiting for an opening to get across. And it looks like we got it here. Here we go. All right. Let's keep moving. We'll move east and get out ahead of this. Might lose service a little bit as we're dipping through the trees, so apologies about that in advance. Oh, I have a turn here. Go. Is this Kyle? Oh my gosh, it's Kyle. There's Kyle. We found him. We found Kyle again. We saw Kyle yesterday. Chat, there's Kyle in front of us. Fellow Wisconsin chaser. Cam dialed in here so you guys can get a better view of this. Once we turn, you'll be able to get a better shot. Man, what a beauty. We are on Highway 39 towards Hollandale right now. That's the current route I have in my GPS. Is Kyle stopping up here? Get a quick view. So yes, he is. I am going to move up a little bit. Looks like Kyle's getting out to take a few photos. I'm gonna move up the road just a little bit. I want to get farther ahead of this thing so we have a better view. Then I'll post up and take a couple stills. There we go. What a beaut. Look at this thing. Not too We're gonna take this road east here. That'll keep us in front of the storm. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do a time lapse if we can get far enough ahead of this. Once we get on this main highway here, we will be able to cook east a decent bit. Look at that. What a beauty. Here's someone enjoying the storm. Coming? Nope. Nope. Okay. Well, I will be able to put you guys out my side window here. You all are about to get the best of you in the house. There it is. We're just going to be cruising east with it for quite a while, so we're going to keep this view for quite a bit. There's Vince. Yeah, I don't think there's really a tornado imminent with this storm at all. Looks like just wind and maybe a little hail. Not much of a tornado threat. Surprising amount of chasers out here, though. Seen quite a few. Usually I'm like the only one on these things. Wisconsin storm chasing has gotten more popular. It's pretty fun to see the influx of chasers out here in Wisconsin. Like 2 or 3 years ago, there might have been like 2 or 3 other chasers on a storm like this, and now there's probably 20 to 30 people out on the storm. So, chasing out here has definitely gotten more popular. Look at that. What a pretty storm. So gorgeous. That is a big shelf cloud. Big shelf cloud taking up the whole horizon. I'm gonna try to get up on a bluff out over here. We're a pretty good ways out ahead of the storm. Amount of ways out in front of the storm where I can post up and just get a view of it. Oh my gosh, the storm to our south is warned for 80-mile-per-hour winds. Observed 80-mile-per-hour winds. Shoot. Maybe I should dive down there. I'm willing to bet this thing will probably also be putting down some good wind here in a little bit. We're gonna go down this road a little bit. We'll find a clearing and we're just gonna post up and enjoy the show. Simple plan. Man, look at the stacks. Got some different stacks going now on the shelf. Pretty good distance out ahead of us now. We can find a field or something to pull off on. Looks like we have a road up here we can use. We'll use this little pull-in. Pull-in right here. Is this a driveway? Never mind, that's a driveway. Pull off at this intersection up here. Sorry guys, the stream froze. The stream chalked itself. We're getting under the shelf cloud here. Maybe I'll just pull off right here and we can watch. Pull off in this little driveway here. Side of this bridge. It's not a bad view. Look at that. Switch you guys to the wide camera here. What a pretty storm. It's coming right at us. This thing is tracking right towards us here. I want to see what that storm that supposedly is warned for. Yeah, that's coming right at us too. Oh, we can get both of them. We can get this storm and then we can dive back south a little bit and get the 80-mile-per-hour wind bag. Willing to bet this whole thing is putting down some good winds. Oh, here comes the shelf. Let's get out and take a look. Get out and see it here. Yep. Can hear it. Here she comes. The wind it's really warm wind. It's soupy. Sounds like I pulled off next to the gun range. What a beauty. Well, here it comes. They're shooting the storm. Hop back in the car here and I'm gonna work back towards that main highway. Back towards 39. Oh yeah, it's got a good breeze going here. Coming, nope. Do a little U-turn and see if we can get back in front of it or if this thing is just gonna run us over. Definitely windy. This whole area is warned for 70 miles. think we froze again. I don't know why it does that. There we go. Should be good now. Oh, we have 2 tornado warnings. This whole line is getting tornado warned. Alright. This whole big squall line is getting tornado warned here. So what is that? Hey, there's an interesting area. To our right. It's like a little swirl. Oh, I just hit the inflow. My window's all fogged up at the same time. It's like a little swirl up there. A little cinnamon bun. Looking over there, I see a little like swirled up feature. That looks interesting. That looks very, very interesting. Focus came unlocked. Come on, focus. Seems like it should be good. Getting a lot of strong winds out of this thing. We're just surfing the outflow. Getting kicked up there. Okay. Well, that little area I was looking at is gone, so I'm just gonna keep cooking. Cooking here. See what we got. Alright. All the dew points, like the inflow and outflow mix of the warm and cold air is making my windows fog up. I'm just going to stay on 39. This route has been pretty good, so I'm just going to stick with it. Keep us up with the storm pretty nicely. Keeping my eyes peeled. Sarah, sounds good. Appreciate you for hanging with us here, Sarah. For keeping the chat from getting too rowdy. Everyone spam up the W's for Sarah. Say goodbye and thank you as she departs. Definitely windy. Still getting some good winds. Very good wind gusts. Through the valleys right now. Trying to stay ahead of this thing, but we're kind of losing the race, so it may just overrun us at some point. Still gonna keep my eyes peeled. You never know when these QLCS circulations just want to spawn in. whale's mouth now. I don't know if we're really going to be able to get out of the whale's mouth because it's going faster than us considerably. But we can try. We're getting to the point here where we're getting into the forest, so I'm wondering if our route just gets cut off by a tree branch or something. So that usually happens to me in here. Anywhere near Ridgeway. I have no idea where Ridgeway is. Maybe? I'm southeast of Dodgeville right now. Oh, I see that. Oh, that's tucked way up there. That's way up in the rain. Keep an eye on that. That's buried way up in the precip. I don't know if I'd be able to sniff that one out. Like that, I'm afraid they're gonna like turn into me or something. There's a plane. There's a plane flying through the storm. Finally making progress getting out ahead of this thing. I still see a big shelf cloud spanning the horizon here. Okay, I do see that rotation up by Ridgeway, but the problem is I don't really have a good way to get to it. Mainly just because I'm down in the forest right now. Looks like here's some other chasers pull up here and join the show. Now starting to get out ahead of it all. Gotta watch these winds. The wind in these forests always makes me a little nervous. Well, we're finally out ahead of the storm a little bit, so that's good. Made some good ground. Yeah, guys, these tornado warnings go for the Barneveld area, Dodgeville, and then southward from there. They go towards Blanchardville and Argyle. So if you're in that region, heads up. I may drop south towards Blanchardville to get on this tornado warning that's directly to my south. That one we have a better chance of catching. So I think that's going to be my my game plan. South Road is right up here. Our windshield is fogging up. Hey guys, we're gonna drop south and get on this tornado warning directly south of me here. We have a tornado warning right to my south, a couple miles, so we're gonna dive down there and go get it. Then after this, I will probably have to start heading back towards home, because like I said, I do have a birthday party I have to make it to tonight. So, I don't want to be too late for that. Let's zigzag through here. We'll get on 78 and dive south. Get in front of that tornado warning. Get in front of that tornado warning and then also sample this 70-mile-per-hour winds. It's my game plan. Still getting good winds out here. Shoot, am I gonna be able to get through here? No, I'm not. Well, okay. That puts a bit of a... Might be able to. Can I get through here? Mask. Looks like I have someone coming through. Yeah, I can't get through here. They're letting me through. Legends. Absolute legends here letting me get on this storm. Alright. We're diving through the construction zone. Go get on this. See if we can sniff anything out in here. So far, all I'm seeing is a lot of wind. Very windy. See where it would be? It'd be right in front of us. Right down here. Go ahead and just hit record on everything just in case. You never know. Alright. I see where it would be if there was anything. It'd be pretty much straight in front of us here, right down this road. So I'm just gonna keep blasting. Keep blasting south. Blast onto Highway 78 here and go get it. Seems like a lot of the rotation is weakened quite a bit, but still go down there and check it out. Just in case, you never know. These QLCS circulations just kind of like to pop up randomly, so I don't like to let them go until they've just completely passed me by. Alright, my plan is to pretty much just drive into this thing. whatever is going on down here. We're just gonna power on into it. Sample the wind, see if there's any rotation down here, and we're just gonna eat the storm. Then I will have to be heading back towards home. Bit of a bump here. That wasn't too bad. I was expecting that bump to be worse. Yeah, we're right in front of it. Coming right up through here. If there's anywhere I can try to get a view. We're kind of down, we're like down in the forest right now with this thing. Do you see anything visually? Visually, no, I can't see much. All I see is a big shelf cloud spanning the horizon. I think if there was anything, it'd still be in front of us somewhere. Be somewhere up here, I think. Last view I had, that's what it looked like. Let's see, what do we got over here? Yeah. Not much in here. Not a whole lot to be seen in this area. Probably get some good winds here, but not seeing much rotation. So we got a super chat from Sia. Appreciate you tuning in there. A good bump. Watch these little manhole covers here. Those will pop a tire. Well, the storm is rolling in, so not seeing much down here in terms of tornado-y business, or like right under where it would be. Looks like we got a car coming through here. Just let me go by, thank you. Okay. Gotta watch these little manhole covers poking out of the road here. Where is this? We right now are in, where even are we? We're in Blanchardville, Wisconsin. Is where we're at. On this tornado warning down here. All right. Creeping my way through the construction zone, trying to get on this storm. No biggie. Is this west of the Dells? This is not west of the Dells. We are very far south of the Dells. Let this car go through. We will zigzag. Ooh, little bump there. Zigzag up here and see what we got, and if there's nothing going on, we're just gonna let the wind take us. This is where the strongest winds are, down in this part of the storm. So we should get some pretty good winds down here at least. Here we go. Here's a bit of a view. Yeah, there's a bit of a suspicious area straight in front of us here. Look at that. Well, if there was any tornado threat, it's going to be out of that right in front of us there. That's where it would be. Coiled up in there. Not seeing much rotation, but that thing's kind of coming up towards us here, so we can post up and let it. We'll find a clearing here. See what that thing's got. There's a clearing right up the road. Get up to this clearing here. Keep my eye on that. If there was any tornado threat, it's going to be till like our 1 o'clock. Go wind on through here and we should pop out to a little clearing over here. Yep, here we go. Here's a nice clear view. Yeah, that's where it would be, right there. I'm gonna see if I can find somewhere to just like pull off and look. Looks like this might be a little driveway I can use here. Go ahead and pull off in here and just let's just look at it. That's where it would be. Not seeing a whole lot of rotation on it, but be right there. That's where I'm watching. Looks more outflowy than rotating. I'm gonna get out and take a look. Yeah, that's the area of interest, guys, right here, but this looks like more of a wind producer to me. I'm not seeing any rotation. Keep my eyes peeled just in case, because you never know, but pretty calm here. Well, not really calm, it's still windy, but nothing's really rotating. Yeah, I can take you guys out and I can show you. Whoa! I dropped you all. Sorry, chat, I dropped you guys, but this is where it would be right here, and this is all just getting pushed out. Nothing's really rotating on it. Got a lot of turbulence and stuff off over here, but nothing that's like screaming tornado. Oh, you have that area right there. That's rotating a little bit. Not sure. There's just a lot of motion back here. It's easy to point at an area and go, look, that's rotating, but it's so turbulent in this part of the storm, it's hard to say if it's tornadic or not. Like, this is where it would be. Right here. They're like right above us. Yeah, there's a lot of vorticity, a lot of different areas of spin, but nothing concentrated. Look at that. Little cinnamon bun right above us here. See that, guys? Right under it. That's the area of interest right there. It's about to get slapped by all this outflow, though. Like, we have some very strong winds about to run us over here, so this might not be very long for the world. It's very easy when you're in this part of the storm to point at an area and go, that's rotating, that's rotating, that's rotating. This is all outflow. So we have all this cold air getting pushed out of the storm. And so you have a lot of spots where there's these weird interactions of outflow and inflow winds. So you get these little eddies, like that one right there, that spin up in these little areas. And you see that big cloud surging out in front of it now? That's a push of outflow. That's about to just smack it. Probably a decent little area. Here come the winds though. We have that now working towards us. We have the wind we have to worry about. So, yep, and just like that, that area of rotation has been hit by the outflow and it is gone. That's how it is chasing these QLCS circulations. You get right under it, you look up, you're like, okay, it's spinning right there, and then it gets hit by outflow and it's gone. They're really quick and brief. All right. Just a warning in the area, nothing observed. I mean, we're right under where it would be, and there's nothing going on here. We would have seen it if it was down. But we're about to get hit by these winds, though. We have this big wall of wind up here that's about to run us over. Turn off these GoPros. I don't need the GoPros running anymore. It's really cool being back here. You can see all these interesting little areas. My car just beeped at me. I just heard my car beep. Yep. Here it comes. Here comes the wind. Ladies and gents, here we go. We may lose cell service in here, so just FYI. All right, here it comes. Yep, here we go. Pretty good wind out there. Yeah, it's blowing pretty good. About to get stronger. Giving the car a good shake. Shut this window here. Car's got a good shake going to it. Put the side window mount out that way. Wow. It's blowing pretty good out there. Very windy. Yeah, this is a good, probably 60, 70 mile per hour wind here. Pretty strong. But yeah, here we go. That was a good gust. Getting into the stronger stuff now. Sorry guys, I gotta shut my window to keep water from getting in here. Let me turn more this way so we're angled a bit better. Yeah, here it is. Here's the wind. Definitely pretty good. Definitely of severe limit. Reconnect to the stream here. There it is. It is windy. Chat, the wind is winding. Hey, that's some good wind. This is definitely the strongest of it. Definitely a good 70 mile per hour wind right now. Look at that. Yeah, we're definitely getting good 70 mile per hour winds in here. Car's definitely bouncing around a little bit. Crack the window for you guys here. Alright. Should be out of the strongest winds now. Or maybe not. Man, it is seriously blowing out there. We were getting some pretty good winds in here. Crack the window a tad. Little hail. Couple hailstones mixed in here. Probably a couple inch diameter stones, nothing too big. Man, look at those winds out there now. They're just roaring. Holy cow. Really strong wind. Holy smokes. Gotta shut the window. That is blowing out there pretty good. Oh my gosh, look at that. Don't want to get out right now, I can tell you that. Alright, now the wind is coming back into the window here, so I'm going to close it. My back window's open. I was like, there's water hitting my back. My back window got open. Look at this. Holy cow. Yeah, these are hurricane force. It's about what hurricane force winds feel like. Sorry, I can't read chat right now. My internet is not doing too hot. Wow. Look at that. This again. These cameras are getting soaked. Wow. Very windy. We're starting to get on the starting to see it brighten up, so we're coming out on the other side here. A towel. Dry all this off. And just like that, we are out of the winds. Give all these cameras a little wipe down. They got a little damp. And just like that, we're out of it. Well, that was fun. Good little wind intercepts. Let me try to open chat up here. My chat is chopped. Chat is not working. All right. Well, just like that. We are on the backside of the storm. Everything in here is soaking wet. Wipe wipe this all off. There we go. All right, ladies and gents, that was fun. So with that, yeah, that was a good windbag. I got chat finally back open up. And just like that, the sun is coming out. So with that, ladies and gents, I think I am gonna go ahead and probably call the stream here if I can load into YouTube Studio. Let me see if I can load into YouTube here to actually hit the end stream button. Unfortunately, my cell service is, whoa, that was a nice lightning strike. My internet is not exactly working with me right now, so, boom. That was a good bolt. All right, let me try to load up YouTube Studio here. Might take me a second to get connected. Can we raid someone? Let me try if I can load into my stuff. I'll send you guys over. Maybe we can raid DL. I think DL is chasing. But don't go anywhere yet. I actually have to set up the raid. So let me go ahead and let me see if I can get onto it on the computer here. Computer might have better luck. Yep, there we go. All right, I can load up YouTube Studio just fine on the computer. The iPad said no. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna set up a raid here. There was a lightning strike out there. I'm gonna load this up and we're gonna send you guys, I want to send you guys over to DL. I don't know if DL is live right now, but we can find out. Let's see, who is live? Who is live at the moment? DL is indeed live. So we are gonna go ahead and I'm gonna send you guys on over to DL over there. He is currently chasing right now in South Dakota. And with that, I'm going to wrap up my stream here for today. I appreciate all of you guys for tuning in for today's chase. It was very, very fun. I might be out at some point the next couple days. I'm gonna have to look at the models and figure out how everything's doing, but have your eyes peeled because I may be out chasing again sometime soon. And thank you guys once again for tuning in. I'm gonna send you on over to DL's, spam up Charlie Raid, and I'll see y'all later. Take care, everyone.